It's Madden NFL 24, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears, and it's all up next.
Just off Lakeshore Drive, nestled next to Lake Michigan, that's where you find historic Soldier Field in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Chicago Bears. With my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. CD, these Chicago Bears, they come off a tough year at 3-14, the most losses in franchise history. What can they look to build around here in 2023?
Well, it starts with their quarterback, and you know that he is a heck of a player for them. But they've got to get better on the defensive side of the ball. Head coach, defensive background, he's trying to amass that kind of talent and become the monsters of the Midway once again.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they're hoping to get this offense on track in year 2 under Russell Wilson. Charles, I wouldn't have believed this. They were the lowest scoring offense in the league last year, just 16.9 points per game.
And that means you have to change things up, and they certainly have. You talk about operating under new management. This team certainly is. I expect this offensive production to really rise. And Russell Wilson, I think we'll see much more of the Russell Wilson we've seen in the past.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now the third-year man back and healthy. It's Javonte Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Throwing is Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things uncomfortable for him, because if he feels relaxed, you are in for a tough afternoon.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that's incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Screen play set up for Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Throwing on first down, but this one lines up to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Finds Dulcich out left side. And the ball is knocked out. And this will get out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. So fortunately, they're able to hold on to the possession. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 39. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Charles, Justin Fields.
And the first possession isn't until the second quarter, but what's nice about it, it's only down 3. So what you sell your team on is, look, 1 possession, 1 drive, we put it in the end zone. We're in the lead in this game. Let's go, guys.
And he works free. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That was a good forceful run, and it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles, it usually doesn't work very well, and we saw in that play, he'll run right through those attempted plays.
2 yards, good enough for first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Meanwhile, Fields throw here into the hands of Moore. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 45-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? It looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
That's going to be caught. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Herbert looking for a signal, but none forthcoming. They stopped him shy of the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Travis Homer taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears have taken the lead.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you.
And it's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble. It could have been trouble. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Play action. Now Wilson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Alex Singleton making the play defensively. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. From their own 40 to the other 40, the gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Trying to get the ball to his tight end in the center of the field, where he runs a lot of his routes and ostensibly is extremely comfortable. He was hoping he'd find a seam and a big gainer to go along with it, but that one was incomplete.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward. These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field and Brandon Gaudin.
Scott on the return out of the end zone. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. On first down, it's Fields. He's got the connection to Moore. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards that time for number 14.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Taking it right down Broadway. Inside the 10. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Javonte Williams. 63 yards. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in this third quarter.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Lutt's good on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Fields going to keep it once more. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Well, my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Randy Gregory, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Fields. And his throw here is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. That is caught. They'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago! Darnell Mooney, 52 yards. And the Bears answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. They begin the drive with Williams. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20, Javonte Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the 4th. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Scott on the return out of the end zone. Darnell Mooney and the rest of this offense ready to go again. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He's got his target. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I can hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. The ball goes over the sideline.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
So now Fields and the Bears down 17-14, a little under 2.5 to go. How costly of an interception will that be? It's time to find out. 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Oh, wide open, complete. He's to the 15. Touchdown, Chicago. Khalil Herbert, 87 yards. And the Bears have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. Santos now to add the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tiny 2-play drive that time. Well, after the touchdown, here's the punter Trenton Gill to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Denver's offense now set to go. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds after a short pickup, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Here's Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Oh, some strong running. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. He's got room at the 30 and down to the 29-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Wilson. Throw right side. Oh, no, lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. 2nd time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Wilson to throw. Got a man. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up. There he goes, right side. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. On 3rd down, Herbert. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here comes the Bears punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry.